In this video, we'll be going over attendance. We'll begin by discussing the two different types of attendance in GradeLink. Then, we'll move on to actually taking attendance before wrapping up with how to add non-school days to attendance sheets. GradeLink features two major types of attendance: school and class. School attendance, also called daily attendance, refers to attendance that is taken once per day. Class attendance, on the other hand, refers to attendance that is taken several times throughout the day, such as once per class period. Administrators should note that it is possible to have both school and class attendance active at the same time. Let's get started. From the GradeLink dashboard, select the Attendance tab. To take attendance, first select a class from the menu at the top of the page. By default, only unconcluded classes in the active term will be available. If you have multiple active terms, each class will have its respective term appended to its name to help distinguish which classes belong in which term. School attendance can only be taken for classes with the school attendance class type, while class attendance can only be taken for classes with the standard class type. The interface is slightly different depending on what type of attendance you're taking, so let's start by looking at school attendance. Start by hitting the Add Attendance button. This creates an attendance sheet for the selected class. The date appears in the top left corner, students on the left, attendance values across the top, and on the far right is the Commons field. By default, all students are marked as present when a new sheet is created. To take attendance, simply check any of the boxes below the corresponding attendance value. To save time, the blue chevrons labeled Mark All allow you to assign a particular attendance value to every student at once. If you have several attendance classes, you can also hit Add Attendance for all classes to create an attendance sheet for every class at the same time. It's important to note that Add Attendance for all classes generates attendance sheets for both school and class attendance classes, not just one or the other. If you want to take attendance for a different day or edit an attendance sheet you've already created, click on the date field in the top left corner to open the calendar. Then select the date you'd like to take the attendance for. When you're done, don't forget to hit Save Changes. Deleting an attendance sheet is as simple as hitting Delete Attendance, and hitting Delete Attendance for all classes will delete every attendance sheet. Taking class attendance is a slightly different process. Start by selecting any class with the standard class type from the menu at the top of the page. Then hit Add Attendance and Conduct. You'll notice the attendance sheet looks a little bit different. There will only be 5 attendance values, and a second set of columns labeled Conduct will appear on the right side of the page. Additionally, a new menu labeled Select a Student will appear below the calendar. This menu allows you to view attendance that has already been taken for a specific student. Aside from these minor differences, the actual process of taking attendance is exactly the same. Create an attendance sheet, mark the appropriate values, and hit Save Changes. There's one last aspect of attendance that needs to be discussed: non-school days. While the start and end dates for your attendance sheets are already determined by the start and end date of your terms, there may be times during a term when you don't have school, such as furlough days. Rather than not taking attendance that day, you can create a non-school day and have GradeLink automatically generate an attendance sheet for you. To create a non-school day, head over to the Settings tab and then hit Daily Attendance Settings. Near the top of the page, select Specify Non-School Days. You create non-school days using the fields on the left, and a list of existing non-school days appears on the right. Description is a title describing the reason for the non-school day. Below, specify the day or the range of days covered, and then specify which attendance value will be auto-filled on any attendance sheets generated for the non-school days. When you're finished, hit Add. If you need to edit an existing non-school day, select it from the list on the right, and the fields on the left will automatically be filled in with its information. After making any changes, hit Submit Changes. If you need to delete a non-school day, select it from the list on the right and hit Delete. This concludes our discussion of attendance. Join us for our next video where we go over Essential Administrator Reports.